So today is a really exciting announcement because you can now get access to Filmverse Lite for free. The dctl is valid for 14 months with no restrictions on its use case. This isn't some demo plugin with watermarks. You can get access now and use it for real projects. Filmverse Lite is a fascinating, lightweight implementation built by the development team. It's designed to be a single dctl that gives you a foundation of both color and texture to start grading from. It's built to work natively with DaVinci Wide Gamut and even has a built-in DRT to get you from scene to screen. While many artists can get value from this tool, it is especially a win if you are looking to start experimenting with the Filmverse tools, or you are a creator who is looking for a single node solution for color. It's a simple way to get a strong foundation quickly. Get access now by going to the link in the description. Now, as you probably know, there's more than just the Lite version. Filmverse Pro is designed specifically for the needs of colorists and cinematographers looking for a strong starting point in their look design. It's designed as two separate dctls. One is for the look, and the other is for texture. The Look dctl is a fully scene-referred tool that has two negative stocks and two print stock options to start as the base of the look. Then, a bunch of additional parameters to tweak and adjust the design. The Texture dctl then allows you to add grain, halation, and those textural elements to help you complete the look. It works great for those scene-referred pipelines that many of us are accustomed to. And it gives you the freedom to still select the DRT you prefer. While you're more than welcome to use Resolve's Color Space Transform, or other DRTs for that matter, you can also use the official Filmverse solution by using the Filmverse Pro dctls to build your look, and then place the Filmverse Lite at the end in DRT mode to function as your display transform. It's just one of the many ways to use the tool. And I will mention, for those of you who are core viewers of the channel, you may know that there is even a more advanced tool in the works. Keep an eye out for Filmverse Arsenal. Another great feature developed by the team is the Filmverse Sync tool. If you've used dctls for any period of time, you know that keeping them up to date and organized can be a pain. I'm always hesitant to upgrade dctls when I'm in the middle of a project because I don't know how they will react. Sometimes they will lose their adjustments, or even it will unlink the dctls if there's a problem with how Resolve is locating it in the LUT folder. Filmverse Sync is here to solve that issue. It's an application for both macOS and Windows that takes care of making sure your dctls are up to date with the newest features and bug fixes. It also helps ensure that things are still backward compatible with your older projects. You no longer need to download and organize your Filmverse dctls with every single update. The Sync tool has got you covered. To install Filmverse, log into your account on Colorist Foundry and copy your license key. Then paste it into the Filmverse Sync application and verify the license. This will install the necessary files. The next time you open Resolve, you'll find the Filmverse tools within the dctl effects drop-down menu. In this first example, we drop Filmverse Lite in and select the proper input gamut and gamma. In this configuration, Filmverse is also operating as your DRT and transforming from scene to display space. If we tick off the look, you can see that Filmverse is acting as just the DRT. We'll add a node upstream of Filmverse to do some initial shot balancing. We can then re-engage the look to see where things are at. In this next clip, we will paste the Filmverse node to start. And like before, we can do some initial shot balancing, warm it up slightly, and balance the exposure. To ensure we have proper color management, let's add a color space transform to take us from Aries Log C3 color encoding into DaVinci's intermediate. Now let's try dialing in this shot with Filmverse Pro. You'll see here that we have a lot more control over the look here. One of the things I'll point out is that while our core look finessing is going on in the Pro tool, you'll notice that downstream we still have light, and light is now acting as our DRT for this look. That is what's completing the scene to display journey. Let's move into a third clip. We're going to ensure proper color management like before. Then start with some basic shot balancing. This is actually a really great shot to demo some of the texture tools here. If you look at the silhouette, you can start to see halation in play. It's really easy to audition different textural choices like 16 or 35mm grain. Here's a clip that comes from a red camera. We can quickly create a one-node grade by setting up the color management. The source is naturally quite warm, so let's balance that out and add some preferential density. Now, if you're looking for a more traditional color managed workflow, we can set up our classic color space transform sandwich. In this case, taking us from reds encoding to DaVinci Intermediate, then drop in Filmverse Pro, which is where our primary look will come from. Then Filmverse Lite as the DRT, taking us from DaVinci's Intermediate to Rec 709. And then we can wrap it up with the texture dctl at the end. Notice that in the light node, we tick the disable look to allow light to function as our DRT. That way we don't double up with the look elements. We add a bit of shot balancing and then make some adjustments to the look. His skin tone is coming on pretty strong, so let's adjust that a bit. Here's a little before and after. We wrap it up by auditioning some of the textural elements to see what we like. There we go. There's actually a few questions that come up around Filmverse that I wanted to ask Jai, the creator of Filmverse, to give his insight on. So Jai, thanks for chatting.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's a lot of talk about Filmverse Lite. What drove you to create that in the first place?
Well, actually, I was just trying to create like a modified version of color space transform that DaVinci already has, but I just wanted to do a better job at gamut mapping. So I wrote my own DRT, and when I was done doing the DRT, I was like, okay, this can be used with Filmverse Pro, but what if it had its own look underneath it, which the end user can just like turn off or on. And once I was done doing that, I sent it across a couple of colorists, and yeah, I sent it to Juan as well, and I sent it to Paul, and they all said the same thing that they really like the color. And so I went ahead and added grain and halation, and because why not? Why not just like do like one dctl which can do all of it? And yeah, that's how Filmverse Lite came to be. And yeah, I think it's a fun tool. It's aimed at creators, but it doesn't need to be aimed at creators, like because you can use it as a DRT, and you can use it with you can use it with Filmverse Pro. But yeah, that's Filmverse Lite for you.
Yeah, that's cool. It's amazing all that you were able to like cram into just one single DCTL. So there's a lot going on. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
why not? I mean, that's the that's like exactly what excites me about, like let's just like for me, a good tool is something that can hide the sophistication within just like a single node. And why not? I mean, OFX works like that. Like, most of the film emulation OFX work like that. So why not?
so let's say that someone likes Filmverse Lite, maybe they buy lifetime access and they want to upgrade either to Pro or just other upgrades in the future. What does that process look like?
Well, ideally, there should be like an upgrade path, and we're working on it, like to up, like basically in your dashboard in the account page, if you can just like have a button over there which says upgrade, and it can give you a discount code, and that discount code will reduce the price. So if you've paid us like $79 for the Filmverse Lite, then you don't have to pay us the full amount for Filmverse Pro. And same goes for Filmverse Arsenal when we release it. And yeah, ideally that should be an automated process, but right now it's not there. And so if you want to upgrade, or if anybody wants to upgrade, you can just shoot us a email at support@filmblade, and we will help you with those discount codes manually.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a really, really clean solution. So, question about the sync tool. I think
Yeah.
a common question that people have is why use Filmverse Sync rather than just downloading the files? So, what's your take?
Yeah. So the idea is simple that I create something and I want you to use it, and you're going to use it on projects that you're going to open like 2 years from now, and you would expect them to work the way they did when you applied it on your projects. The only problem is that what happens when I push an update, or I push a feature, or I push a bug fix, and each of those use cases will either require you to replace the DCTL files or add another version to it. And it gets complicated because what happens to your older files and what happens when I push a new look? Do your older project files, do they get affected or not? And so it's like a complex problem because maybe the 10% of the people who are using the DCTL, in the DCTL ecosystem are extremely well versed and up to date folks who are colorists and know how DCTLs work, and they're like managing it all. But then there's a major chunk of people who are just like getting into this ecosystem and they're just learning how to manage these DCTLs. And so it's not fair to them, I think, that by the time they understand how DCTLs work and what can go wrong, and by the time they learn and understand it, they have like hundreds of DCTLs. And I push an update over here thinking that they will understand, but it's just going to increase the labor. And then there's a third segment which just like does not understand the difference between DCTLs and OFX yet. And to add to the complexity of it, there are people who cannot understand English as well as other speakers, including me. Like it's hard for me to just like read any sort of documentation at the first go and understand it just like in a click. And so it's just to take all of that labor and of thinking and not leave that to the end user, and to take that and just say, here's a button, and if you press it, no matter how many updates you have missed before, uh, it's going to fix everything. It's going to fix your older projects. If there's a bug, you're gonna have it fixed. If there's a look that has been released, you're going to have it. And if there's a feature that is being released, if there's an experimental DCTL, then you will have it right away. And it's not just about like these different use cases on like one tangent. I think it's also about what if this evolves into an OFX project, and what if we just like move from DaVinci to just like other softwares like Premiere Pro or After Effects. And so in that case, we are not just only thinking about, okay, there's an axis, x-axis, which is just like number of use cases and number of people, the types of people who are using it, the level at where they're at, like are they beginner, are they like intermediate, or are they like pro at their thing. There's also an axis like y-axis, which is about how are things going to look in future. And with that also comes the responsibility that your older projects are safe. So yeah, I mean, Filmverse Sync is one way to just like answer all of these questions. I might be all wrong about it. There might be a better solution, but I think if I do not do this, I will not know if it's the right way to go ahead or not. But the case is right now that you, as a person who understands TCTL, might think that, it's an unnecessary, exercise to get access of the DCTLs. But at the same time, for somebody, it might just be the easiest and the safest way to get their hands on the latest DCTLs.
Yeah, I really think it's a great idea, especially because, at least when I look at myself, I'm someone who's slow to do updates unless the updates are easy to accomplish. So the process of having to, find the website, download the file,
Yeah.
place it into the let folder, it's something that it's often just enough work that it's easy for me to push off. So making bug fixes easy, adding, a new, print option in there, I just think it's a really, really great idea.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, thanks so much for chatting.
Yeah. Anytime.
Thanks, Jai. You'll find a link to Filmverse Lite in the description where you can not only get access to the tool, but also learn more about what Filmverse has to offer.